Thank you for the warm introduction. To begin with, I would also like to thank my classmates, the faculty, and President Bottoms for selecting me as this year's recipient of the Walker Cup. Indeed, I am truly honored. I'd also like to give a special thanks to my family for supporting me here on this special day. Thank you. In a short time, our experiences at DePauw as undergraduates will become a memory we can look back on as 4 influential years in our life. 4 years when we learned a lot about ourselves. 4 years when we made some of the best friends that we will ever have. 4 years that we will always remember. For me, the memory begins the first day I was dropped off here. I had to arrive a couple of days early for the orientation into the Bonner Scholar program. Of course, I was excited and anxious and very nervous. But what stands out from my first few hours at DePauw says a lot about each of our experiences here. After my mom and sister pulled away for the last time, I walked back towards my room in North Quad and sat down in the steps right in front of the quad. Instantly, I began to cry. For the most part, I was able to hold back the tears while my mom and sister were still around, but I couldn't any longer. I started to wonder what I was doing here. Suddenly, I was in this completely new environment, and I wasn't sure I was going to like it. Fortunately for me, I couldn't sit there too long because we had a meeting for the Bonner orientation. It was a good thing that kept me busy that first day. The meeting was held at the Union Building, and as I walked up to the building, I saw another student being dropped off by his mom for the last time. Like myself, he watched her drive off and then walked up the steps of the Union with red, tear-filled eyes and a runny nose. That was about all it took for us to start up a conversation. We both needed to talk to someone, and there was an instant connection. By the end of the day, Van and I had shared some of our dreams, we'd exchanged our feelings, and we'd become friends. Today, many of us probably have some of these same feelings that we did 4 years ago. We are again entering a major transition in our lives. We will again enter a new and challenging environment. And more than likely, we are questioning what our futures may bring. As we prepare to move through this transition, I'd just like to offer 2 ideas. First, I think it's important that whatever we decide to do in the next few years, that we remember our experiences at DePauw as more than just a means to getting a good job or a large salary. We will be severely downplaying the importance of our times here if we only consider the past 4 years as merely the necessary steps towards financial security. Our experiences here are simply too important to relegate them to the status of a tool. I know many of us are concerned about finding employment, or we are feeling pressure from relatives or even friends about what we're deciding to do with our lives. I'm always critical of this pressure, and fortunately I haven't had to feel it. If we consider what this pressure really stems from, it does seem to be rather negative. For many of us, we've probably felt this pressure before. Our decision to come to college was probably influenced by it. Although I would not have traded these past 4 years for anything, I cannot remember wondering if I was going to college. It's because it was just understood. It was what I was supposed to do. It was the right thing. In many ways, what we are told that we are supposed to do now is find that high-paying job that offers plenty of options for advancement and that will launch us onto long, successful careers. I'd like us to question this pressure. I'd like us to question why we might be getting that particular job, or why we are accepting a position just because we feel like we need to start on a career within a few months or weeks of college. Of course, I know there are many good reasons why we should move into the workplace quickly. For some of us, the government would like to start receiving payments on our student loans. However, this should not lead us into taking a position that we don't want to. Let's not be quick to follow the trusted path, because it's what we are supposed to do. Let's not take the convenient route. If DePauw has taught me anything, it is that it can be much more exciting and rewarding to turn left when we are told by everyone else that we are supposed to turn right. And for those parents out there who are worried about their sons and daughters' future, I just ask you to consider the advice J.D. Salinger offers in The Catcher in the Rye. As he explains, that damn money, it always makes you blue as hell. A second and related idea has to do with what graduation means for us. I suppose it means an end to late-night Marvins, Thursday nights at Toppers, meaningless Greek rivalries, and waiting till the absolute last minute to start preparing for that test or presentation. In addition, a couple of weeks ago, I was walking through campus, and all of a sudden I heard this student yelling from an upstairs window of one of the living units. And I could tell he was kind of excited, so I stopped and listened to see what he had to say, and this is what I heard. "Hey buddy, fill that container up with beer and bring it up to the shower. I can't come down there. I'm naked." I'm pretty sure that graduation means an end to hearing that as well. More importantly, graduation also means something else. Consider the following. If the world was reduced in size to a village containing only 100 persons, and all current human ratios were applied to these 100 villagers, then only one person in the entire village would be a college graduate. Today we are entering an educated minority composed of only approximately 1% of the world's population. Although this very low number was surprising to me, it wasn't that significant until I related it to some of the other conditions that would be present in this 100-person village. In the same village that has only one college graduate, half of the people would be suffering from malnutrition. Over 2/3 would be unable to read. And approximately 80% of the villagers would be either homeless or living in substandard housing. It is with this in mind that I consider what it means to be a college graduate. Today we have entered this educated minority, and we have increased our potential for future successes. However, I ask that we do not forget the other people in the village that never had or never will have the chances that we did. It would be very foolish and selfish of us to think that the majority of the village that suffers from malnutrition or lacks adequate housing had the same chance to succeed in college as the one village member who graduated. With this in mind, I do look with great excitement to the future. I am excited about what we have done in the past few years and what we will do next. Our potential makes me anxious to see Jay Pettigrew catch his first pass in the NFL. It makes me anxious to watch Alex Arevallo's first screenplay, to read Matt Simpson's first novel, and to listen to Debbie Clark in the symphony someday. Indeed, I'm excited to see how each of us will work to remember the other less fortunate members of the village. Finally, as we enter this minority today, consider these words of encouragement from an influential leader of the past who wasn't afraid to turn left when everyone told him it would be much better for him to turn right. Just over a year before his death, Paul Robeson explained, "To all the young people who are so passionately concerned about making a better world, I say, right on." Thank you, and good luck.